Welcome to Breaking Ties, a new you after divorce. This is your go-to source for practical advice and support for when the divorce process has finished. Join us each weekday for a quick chat where we'll cover a variety of topics related to post-divorce. Together, we'll explore the emotional, financial, and legal aspects of life after divorce and help you find the best path forward for you and your family. Here's your host and Certified Divorce Financial Analyst professional, Mike Fulkerson.
Hello and welcome to Breaking Ties, a new you after divorce. I'm your host, Mike Fulkerson, financial advisor and certified divorce financial analyst professional. And right now we're doing Mike's relationship series, just looking at some of the relationship pieces, parts, and doing a breakdown and analysis on why things might have gone wrong. You know, it's like, hey, let's take a look at this stuff. At the same time, I think it's just as important to figure out who you are. So we talk about this, a new you after divorce, and the reality is it is a new you. I mean, you are on your own, whether you have kids or not, doesn't matter. If you have to take care of kids, that just adds a layer of complexity to your side of things. You got a parenting plan as well, but the reality is you are still going to be you. And I still think it's good to kind of debrief and look at what went wrong with the relationship. And I've talked about this from the before you got divorced, going through the process, and now here you are at the end. And that really is a foundational piece of moving on. It's like, okay, you kind of look back at what went well with the relationship, like what would you keep for the next relationship? And then you also look at what didn't go so well and what would I adjust? Who am I? And working on like rebuilding parts of you. And as we go through this series over the next few episodes, we're going to talk more in depth about some of these pieces, parts of yourself, and putting yourself back together and building up yourself so that you get in a good spot. And if you want to have another relationship, you're at a position to where you can. I always say that, first and foremost, you got to live alone and get yourself right and get all your ducks in a row and understand how your household works. Whether you're single or have kids, doesn't really matter. You got a process and a flow that goes on in the household that you have to yourself fully understand so that when you go into a new relationship, you're not behind the curve. You have a complete understanding of, all right, here's my situation. There's the other person's situation. And how do we start to blend or mesh that together? And what does that look like? And so all in all, when you look back, you're always going to see things like, oh, I wish I could have done that. I wish I had made that decision. And sometimes, heck, you might have even made the right call and you still end up where you're at. And that's just how it turned out. It's not good or bad. It's no fun, yes, and it's sad, yes. But in the end, you are likely to be in a better position and a better spot for yourself that allows you to be that next best version of you, which is kind of like the latest and greatest kind of tagline. See it a lot more now, referenced as far as the next best version of you. And so when you look at who is that person? How do I want to be portrayed in public? How do I want my kids to see me? If you have kids, what are some things that I would do differently, or what's some things I would do to enhance myself? And you're already through the divorce process, and it was grueling, more than likely. A lot of times, even amicable divorces there's mentally draining. And so when you look at like next steps, heck, some of it might just be rest, relaxation, just, hey, collect yourself for a period of time, and then start to build back up again. So it doesn't have to be anything grandioso. It doesn't have to be anything ridiculously large or big. Sometimes it's the little things and the simplest things that can make all the difference in the long run. So I hope you join me for the rest of the series because I think it's pretty cool. And if you have any questions, I'm always available. You can find my information in the contact section. And all in all, I do hope now that you're through the divorce process that you're, finally getting yourself into a good space, and hopefully it's what you envisioned coming out of it. And so with that, I'm going to sign off for today, And I'm going to hopefully see you tomorrow on the next podcast, and have yourself a fantastic day. Take care.